I'm Sherri with Garden Gate Magazine, and I'm here today with Sara Burrier in her fairy garden. There's got a lot of fun stuff going on, and so we thought we'd share with you some of the things she's done to bring this all together. And Sara, but first I wanted to ask you, like, how long have you been gardening, and how did you get started gardening?
I started gardening probably about 2019.
Okay.
Really, like, gardening,
Yeah.
right? So I've been doing irises and sedums and things like that for a while, but
Yeah, sure.
for this kind of thing, right around COVID.
Okay. And then how did you really get into the fairy gardening?
Well, I paint fairies for a living in watercolor, and I
okay.
draw them for
Yeah.
a living. So I've been doing that since I was little,
Uh-huh.
and everyone always kept asking me, "Don't you have a fairy garden?"
Oh, yeah.
No. And I'm like, "No, I don't have a fairy garden." "Why do you keep asking me that?" Well, then with COVID, and I'm a stay-at-home mom, and so having school here,
Yeah.
it's not my forte.
Yeah.
And then so I needed an escape,
Yeah, sure.
and so it's like, well, why not start building actual things?
Do that fairy garden that everybody
Right,
was
and I
asking.
really like the treasure hunting.
Oh, yeah.
So like going out and trying to find like all the acorns,
Oh,
and
yeah.
pine cones, and
Right,
all
the-
the random things.
The little things that you tuck here and there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then we also had these stumps.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so
Yeah, what was growing here before?
these were, I think, like miniature bird nest shrubs.
Oh, yeah, spruces. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. And so then they were dying. I went ahead and cut them back, tried to make them into bonsai.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Yeah. Doesn't always. does
Doesn't
it?
always
Yeah.
work. They were already dying.
Yeah.
And so we just cut the tops off. And then I got to spend a winter looking at them
Yes.
and asked my husband, well, what are we going to do with those?
Yeah.
Well, can you build me some roofs? And so
Okay.
he did. He built some roofs, and I took
Nice.
them into the studio and just started putting them together.
Oh, cool.
And that, this one was the first one we made.
Over here?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then after we got that up there, I'm like, ho, 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 this is going to be awesome. So then I
Yeah.
just expanded everything and just started going to town with it.
Yeah. Now it looks like it's kind of burned up a little bit here. Did you have to add soil, or was it already that way?
It was already that way when we bought the house. So it had those, it had the spireas and a lot of river rock.
Oh, okay.
So the whole thing was full of river rock.
Okay. So you've kind of used. Looks like you've used some of it. But
Trying to
Yeah. Yeah.
figure out
And-
a place to put it.
But made little paths and.
Yes.
To all the different places. So I should go back to when you started with this first one, and your husband made the roof. Did he put the bark on, or was that?
I put the bark on.
Oh, nice. And then how did you do that? Because it looks really great.
For Mother's Day, he bought me a air compressed nail gun.
Oh,
And I'm like, yes,
that's a great gift.
that was a great gift. And so I've collected a lot of bark. My mom has 5 acres out in Prairie City.
Oh, yeah.
And lots of trees.
Okay.
And so I have a lot of access to bark.
Nice.
And so I just nail that bark on
Oh, okay.
with some wood glue. And the fuzzy stuff under, especially this one, is I bought some coconut
Oh,
cover.
like that sheeting?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it didn't work for what I wanted it for. So now it's in the studio and I use it.
Oh, yeah, that looks great. Excellent. And then what's the little, there's like, is that part of the stump? There's like a little patio here on the front.
No, my mom and I went and grabbed some firewood for her at some place in Prairie City, and he had all these slabs just kind of sliced up everywhere.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, can I take some of those?
Yeah.
So I had them sitting there, and as we were putting this together, I'm like, ooh, that'd be perfect. And I
Yeah.
put it in there, and he nailed it in, and perfect little patio.
Oh, cool. That looks
Made
great.
some ladders.
It's just really cool how I mean, those stumps were kind of undulating, and then you've just incorporated those really well with the roofs and all the furniture and the details that go with it.
I really like working from something and then manipulating it
Yeah.
and making it different.
Uh-huh.
Coming from scratch.
Yeah.
I tried doing these roofs on my own. Not my forte.
Yeah, that's good job your husband.
I'm glad my
helped then.
husband is
Yeah.
really good with that kind of thing. So, but once he had the roofs made, I was like, oh, I know what to do now.
Yeah, cool. And then I think you've been adding plants. You mentioned different types, trying them out. And
Yeah, so really trying to fill it in, because when we first built this, it was just a lot of
Just the
rock and a
rock.
lot of ajuga.
Yeah.
and with the spireas. So in the last 2 years, I've been trying to find a bunch of perennials that are also pollinating perennials.
Oh yeah.
That's really important to me. But they also have to be small enough
Yes.
to fit.
An added challenge. Yeah.
Right, which I know some of them are going to get really big.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love just putting things in there and see what it does.
Lots of experimenting.
A lot of experimenting, a lot of pruning. Just to keep the pathway. So if it doesn't prune well, it's not going to work in the fairy garden.
That makes sense. And I think you mentioned you've pruned the spirea quite a bit.
Yes, I've you know, there's hardy, you know. And
yeah, they are so tough.
Yeah, I've been able to shape them. You know, like that one over there is just very narrow.
Yeah.
You know, and at first I was like, oh no, I got to keep them round and.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, that's not going to work. So I just cut them back, and they don't seem to mind it one bit.
That's cool.
So
when do you usually cut them?
Probably once every 3-4 weeks.
Oh, okay. So you really keep
I
them.
really have, yeah.
They have a really nice shape, and they're nice and dense too.
Yeah,
So.
the cutting back really makes them want to pop. And so when they were blooming, you know, it's kind of hard to cut off the blooms.
Yeah.
You know, especially when I see all the bumbles.
Uh-huh.
But within a week, brand new blooms.
Oh.
And they're perfectly fine.
So you can keep the blooms going. That's
Yes.
really cool.
Yep.
That's nice.
It's important.
Really good. So then, and then it looks like this one has like two. You've got like a duplex there.
I do. It did kind of have this big break off, right? And just doing one big one didn't make any sense, especially after that one.
Oh yeah, because then it wouldn't be so many.
Right. So, and being an artist, you know, got to have the 3. You have to have your odds.
Yeah.
So, he made this little tiny one. I love it.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is the bed and breakfast, and that's the little library lodge. And I just noticed that there's a praying mantis on it. Fantastic.
Oh, cool. Oh yeah, I see him. He's hiding back there.
Yeah, I love it.
Cool. That's nice. So you've obviously got a good insect population going here.
Very, very. I mean, we've got, you know, this time of year, I've got a lot of spider webs, and
Yeah.
you know, we've got some wasp huts where
Oh, okay.
the wasps have taken over, and it keeps them away from the house. They have their
They
own
have
homes.
their own little house.
Yep.
Yeah. That's great. So, and then how have you, I think you talked about upcycling a lot of things. Can you mention a few of those things you've upcycled and how you've used them? And
Right. So I upcycle a lot of lanterns.
Oh, yeah.
And I upcycle, so my friend across the street, my neighbor, loves to go to the thrift stores and just find random little things. And so she's always collecting, like I have a little inside here, I have like a little bunny.
Oh, yeah.
By the guest book. And so I was like, oh, this would be so cute right there.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's vintage, and it doesn't really, but it gives an aesthetic.
Yeah.
You know, I go to the thrift store and I find silk flowers, or I find door hinges, little miniature door hinges for crafts.
Oh, yeah.
And so anything I can find
That's small and would be.
that's small. Yep.
Nice.
I have a whole box of Christmas stuff waiting for me.
So you decorate for the seasons, as we can see with the Halloween.
Yep.
Very nice.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And I like it that, you know, the neighborhood really enjoys that as well.
I bet. Yeah. People walking by have definitely a lot to look at.
They
That's
do.
Cool.
They do.
And I was just noticing on the little B&B, you have some little windows in the roof. Did you add? Did you put those? Did you make those or?
Yeah,
Those are
I made them
cool.
out of, you know, just finding sticks that curve.
Little twigs.
But then the shiny part is mica.
Okay.
So I purchased some from other artists that use it. They're scraps.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm able to kind of give it that shimmer.
Yeah.
Make it look like it's
A
a window.
window. That's really neat.
If we ever do it again, I'm actually going to cut out windows because I thought it'd be fun.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it works. And then the rooftops are mushrooms from my mom's place.
Oh, fun. Okay, so how do you keep the things? How do you attach things and
How
get
do
them
I
to stay?
say? Well, that is a big trial and error that I've had to go through. So first, obviously, naturally, you go to hot glue. Doesn't always work, especially with Iowa temperatures. So the humidity, actually, hot glue melts on the heat. So
Of course, yeah.
So hot glue works perfectly fine for more indoor stuff, but for outdoor, I use the E6000 epoxy that
Okay.
you can grab at the store.
Okay.
And
Like a hardware store or something?
yeah, hardware, craft store, doesn't
Oh,
matter.
okay.
They're all there. And that will last for, with Iowa weather, about 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
But then the temperature
Yeah.
changes and then it cracks and it doesn't work anymore. So my next step is dipping them into polyurethane.
Oh, okay.
I used to try
Interesting.
shellac, but shellac is made from bugs, which is because I like the fact that it's natural and that
Yeah.
I have a really hard time with polyurethane.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to get to a point where
It's going to need
it's
that.
just going to need that to
Yeah.
survive.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
And I know, and we've talked a lot about the outdoor ones, but I was just remembering you have a lot of lanterns
I do.
that you have made for indoors too.
Yeah.
But did you try them outside first?
I did.
And
And it didn't work.
Oh, okay.
So,
but that's good to know.
I did. I did have these lanterns out in the beginning, and they just didn't weather very well.
Oh, sure,
And
sure.
then I was having to fix everything all the
Yeah,
time. And this is
Yeah.
getting exhausting. And so instead, I was like, okay, lanterns are indoor.
Yeah, there you go.
Or
That works.
where you put them on a porch or something where they're protected.
A little more shelter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then other stuff. And I expect these to fall apart, you know? I
Yeah.
mean, that's just the nature of nature.
Sure, exactly.
They're
And
gonna-
then you can
bugs
try.
eat 'em.
Yeah. Then you can try something new, right?
Right.
You can have a new-
Right. It's a lot of
new
fun.
look. That's cool. It does look like a lot of fun, and thanks for having us here, Sarah. It's
problem.
like
Thank you,
it was
Sherri.
fun to see all of your fairy garden adventures and learn a little bit more about from what you've experimented with. That's great. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Thank you. I'm just happy to share it.
Great.